Welcome to the last video of plugins, where we have a last look at plugins. And in this video, we're going to basically concentrate on the editor section of the plugins. I mean, the last time we installed a plugin, we deleted a plugin, we activated, we deactivated it. And on this video, we're just going to have a look at, the back end of the actual plugin. And this is the cool thing about WordPress. It allows you to actually, edit your back end of your plugin. And and that's basically what we're going to have a look at. The one thing that we got to bear in mind is that when you start playing around, when you start altering a plugin, that can affect your whole site and that can break your whole site. So always make sure that you understand what you're doing, and always make sure that you are always cautious when coding a certain plugin's code. So the first thing that I'm going to make sure that you understand is when you're at the dashboard section, you will go to plugins and then editor. Once you've been navigated to the editor section, you will see that you've got a couple of things going on here. You've got your main section, which is where your code is located. On the right top hand side, you've got select plugin to edit. So this is where you choose the plugins that we're going to edit. So I'm going to change it to Fancy Box. I'm going to press select. And once you press select, it changes to that certain plugin. And then you can see that the body of where the code is located has changed to that certain plugin's information, right? So that is the code section. And then on the right hand side, it says plugin files. And that's where the files are located of the plugins. So everything from PHP, JS, CSS, and you can see because the plugin, this certain plugin has got a lot of JS, because if we go back, I just want to show you this. If we go over this so that we all know what exactly I'm talking about. If you press an image, oh, it doesn't want to allow that. So I'm just gonna go and add a page with an image quick, or even just a post. Just gonna go into this post, and I'm just gonna add an image real quick. And this is good practice that we're doing this, because you can make sure that you understand how to get a post image into a post. So I'm just going to go to my menu. I'm going to add the specific post to my menu. Oh, I need to make sure. Didn't check which. Okay, it's possible. It's the category. Just going to go back and I'm going to add possible, the category, to our menu. Okay, that is done. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to view my site. Okay, and I'm going to press possible. I've got my image here. And when you click on it, do you see that this whole animation that's taking place, right? It's very nice. But let's say we wanted to alter this plugin. We wanted to make changes on this plugin, and that's basically how you would do it in the editor plugin section. So normally you would get fancybox.php. So if you look at a different plugin, it will always have the plugin's name and then PHP. That is normally the main how can I say, core system of the plugin. And this normally also gives the information of the plugin, right? And it says here, the description is always important to understand before you start editing a plugin. And once you actually scroll down, you can start, you can realize that, okay, this is where everything gets put together. So the easing.js is, oh, let's just get this back. There we go. The easings.js is basically the whole system as to how it's working. And it's just, warning you, okay, this is an open source on the BES license. And it just basically explains to you the software implementations of the certain plugin. So this is not really where you're going to change some settings, because this is actually where the core of the whole thing is working, right? So we're going to go to the fancybox.css, and when you go to fancybox.css, you can actually go and change, the actual size and the actual color of the fancy box. So the one thing that I've picked up about my fancy box is when I open it up, especially when I'm logged in, I cannot go and close it. So that really, that's bothering me. So I'm going to go and alter the code so that we can able to do that. So well, for us to actually alter the code, we need to understand what's going on, right? So overlay, I take it that is probably, it's probably the background, right? So when I click on it, you can see that's a background. So we can test this by going and adding background color, hashtag. Let's see if that works. And just say background color. And I'm just going to say update file. I'm going to press reload on this side. We're going to see if it's actually that. Okay, so it's not that. You see, that's the whole thing about working with plugins. You got to make sure that you got to play around and make sure that what is whom is what, So we're going to have a look. It says in area background color white. So if we go, that's probably that piece right there. So just going to scroll down and figure out how this whole thing works. And that's the thing about a plugin, because you didn't develop the plugin yourself, so you need to go and scroll through it to make sure that you understand what is going on, right? So these guys used a PNG shadow, which I will probably not do. So they are saying here that top -20, left 0, width 100%, height 20. So that is probably the shadow. So fancy block background, that is a block. Indexes Z index 7, border 0, padding 0. Fancy box background. And you see, that's how you got to go, and you got to read through it, and you got to try and figure out how did they put this plugin together, right? So that was in essence how to alter the plugin, how to alter the CSS of the plugin. And you can also do the same by going to the fancybox.js. And this is basically just the JS version, the actual library version. So you won't be able to do anything here.